Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone asked you, "What do you do?" And you genuinely didn't know how to answer, not because you have nothing going on, but because you have too much going on. You're learning to code. You've been thinking about starting a podcast. You want to get better at photography. You've got a business idea sitting in your notes app. And somewhere in there, you've been meaning to finally finish that online course you bought 8 months ago. That's you, right? Here's what's wild. Most people spend their entire lives searching for one thing they're passionate about, and they take personality tests, they journal, they ask themselves deep questions at 2 a.m. And then there's you. You've got the opposite problem. You're not searching for passion, you're drowning in it. And I'm here to tell you that's not a flaw, that's actually a gift if you know how to use it. But let's be honest for a second, because I think you deserve that. Right now, it probably doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like standing at a buffet with 100 dishes trying to eat everything at once and ending up properly tasting nothing. I've been exactly there. I've started more things than I can count. Machine learning, web development, graphic design, e-commerce, digital marketing, multiple YouTube channels, each one abandoned after a few weeks. At one point, I genuinely thought I was broken, that I was just wired wrong, too scattered, too distracted, too me. But here's the thing I eventually figured out, and I wish someone had told me this years earlier. You don't have a passion problem, you have a strategy problem, and the world is built for specialists. School tells you to pick a subject, the job market rewards depth over breadth. Every success story you've heard follows the same script. Pick one thing, go deep, become the best. And if you can't commit to a single lane, the world makes you feel like you're failing. So you try, you pick graphic design, you go hard for 3 months, you're watching tutorials, building projects, making real progress, and then something else catches your eye: video editing, investing, copywriting, and that new thing feels shiny and exciting, and suddenly graphic design feels like a chore. So you switch, and the cycle starts all over again. And here's what nobody tells you though: the problem isn't that you have too many interests. The problem is that you've been treating every interest like it needs to become your career. You think every hobby needs to be monetized, every skill needs to become your identity, and every curiosity needs to become your calling. And when you can't fully commit to any one of them, you feel like a failure. But there's a smarter way. I call it the 3-bucket strategy. It's simple, almost embarrassingly simple, but it works. Step 1, stop trying to pick just one thing. I know, everyone's been telling you to focus, find your niche, commit, but you've tried that, haven't you? How'd that work out? Fighting your nature is exhausting. Instead, accept that you're a multi-interested person. That's not a bug. That's your operating system. The goal isn't to kill off your other interests. The goal is to organize them in a way that actually moves your life forward. Step 2, sort your interests into 3 buckets. Grab a piece of paper, seriously. Write down everything you're interested in or want to learn. Don't filter yourself, get it all out. Now, sort them. Bucket 1, the moneymaker. This is the one skill with the most realistic potential to pay your bills in the next 1 to 3 years. Notice I didn't say your passion, I said the thing that can make money. It might be something you're already decent at: writing, coding, video editing, sales, marketing. Pick the one where you're already somewhat good, there's real demand, and you don't hate it. That's your anchor. That's what gets your primary focus. Bucket 2, the soul stuff. These are the things you do because they make you feel alive. Maybe it's painting, hiking, cooking, reading philosophy. Here's the rule: you are not trying to monetize these. Not everything needs to be a side hustle, and I know the internet will tell you to turn your passion into profit. But honestly, that's how you ruin the things you love. Let some things just be yours. Bucket 3, the curiosity shelf, and everything else goes here. Learning Japanese, getting into astronomy, that documentary series you want to make. You're not saying never, you're saying not now, and that's okay. They'll be there when you have the time and mental space. Step 3, go all in on bucket 1. This is where most multi-interested people mess up. They split their energy equally across everything. You can't build momentum that way. So for the next 6 to 12 months, your bucket 1 skill gets 80% of your productive energy. If you have 2 hours a day to work on yourself, give 90 minutes to your moneymaker. Take courses, build projects, build a portfolio, network with people in that space. Treat it like it matters, because it does. Once you're making real money from that one skill, you buy yourself something priceless: options. Options to explore, options to expand, options to finally pull something off the curiosity shelf. Step 4, schedule your soul stuff. Don't abandon your bucket too. Just don't let it consume your productive time either. Block it in your calendar like an appointment. Sunday mornings for journaling, Wednesday evenings for painting, Friday nights for reading. These aren't luxuries, they're what keep you from burning out on your main focus. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop pressuring these activities to become something, you actually start enjoying them again. Step 5, revisit and rotate. This is not a prison sentence. Once you've built real momentum, once you're making money, once you've got some stability, reassess. Maybe you shift focus. Maybe your moneymaker starts running in less time and you pull something off the shelf. Maybe two interests combine into something entirely new. The point is, you're building in sequence, not in chaos. Let me tell you what actually happens when you do this. First, you stop feeling guilty all the time and you stop beating yourself up for not focusing because you are focusing. You're just keeping space for everything else in its proper place. Second, you actually get good at something. When you give one skill 80% of your energy for 6 months, you stop dabbling and start developing real expertise. You go from, I'm interested in marketing, to I can run ad campaigns that convert. That distinction changes everything. Third, you build confidence. Every win in your main area gives you proof that you're not just scattered. You're someone who can commit and deliver, and that confidence bleeds into everything else you do. And fourth, this is the big one, you create options. Money gives you options, skills give you options, and once you have those, you start exploring your other interests from a position of strength, not desperation. I'll be honest with you, and I say this with respect, if you continue spreading yourself thin across every interest at once, you could find yourself years down the road still feeling stuck, still switching lanes, still wondering why nothing ever seems to stick. I'm not trying to be harsh, I'm telling you this because I've lived it, and I barely pulled myself out of that loop. Think about the people you look up to, the ones juggling businesses, mastering multiple crafts, living what looks like an incredibly full life. What you're seeing is the result, not the starting point. Every single one of them planted a flag somewhere first. They got traction in one area, built something sustainable from it, and then branched out. And you're not failing, you're just at the beginning of a smarter approach. But that approach requires a decision, a real one, about where your energy actually goes from here. So this is what I want you to do. Write down everything. Sort it into your 3 buckets. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself about what belongs where. Then commit to your bucket 1 for the next 6 to 12 months. Not as a life sentence, just as your current chapter. Structure your week around it, protect that time, let your soul stuff breathe on its own schedule, and let everything else wait patiently on the shelf. The hardest part isn't the planning. It's showing up consistently this week, next week, the week after that. Here's the truth, your interests will still be there, they're not going anywhere. But the window to build something meaningful with your time and energy, that doesn't stay open forever. Make it count.